Hello, guys. It is TJ. Welcome to New Zealand Mysteries. I wanted to come on and have a chat with my subs if they are around. So we're going to wait a wee while and see if anyone turns up. I went live a couple of nights ago and we talked a little about the case, the Gabby Petito case, and some of the updates, but we also just had a bit of a chat and a bit of fun as well. And so I got a few messages from my overseas or my international subs that the time I went on was too late for them and they couldn't participate. So I had thought that I would go on a little earlier in the day. There's a couple of updates about the Gabby Petito case that I want to go through. Nothing, Brian hasn't been found, let's say. Sugar, hey there. Good to see you, Sugar. I haven't seen you for a while. Miss you too. So I thought, that I'd go on a little earlier, and I'm not expecting a big live stream, but I'm expecting a few people, and we can just sit around and have a chat. So what we're looking at on the screen is a document from the Northport Police Department. Now, we all have heard that Brian's parents went and picked up his car from the Carlton Reserve and took it back to their home. And we also heard rumours that there was a note left on the car. And some of the rumours said that the note was from Brian to his parents. That was not confirmed, or not from what I've heard anyway. And there's also rumours that it was some sort of parking ticket. So what I've got on your screen is an incident report. Hey, Autumn Fools, welcome. Zapton, hello. It's good to see you all. I thought I'd go live just a little bit earlier so you guys could come in and say hello. So it's really good to see you all. So we're just going over a couple of things in the Gabby Petito case, and then I want to have a chat with you all and catch up and see how you're all going. So on the screen, like I say, is an incident from the Northport Police Department regarding that car, the Mustang. Hey, Annie, welcome back. So this incident was let me see what Brian Enton says. This is from him. This is the Northport PD abandoned vehicle report related to the Mustang at Carlton Reserve. Everything is blacked out because of the open investigation. So he's meaning all this blacked out stuff on the bottom here, it's redacted. But the timestamp is the 14th of September 2021 and at 2:42 p.m. So at least now we know perhaps that the note was talking that everyone was saying was on the Mustang was not a note from Brian. It indeed was an abandoned vehicle notice. I don't know what that means. Just pointing it out. Now, the other night when I was on, Cassie, the sister, had just come outside to the protesters and had a short speech, and we all thought that was good. She's not going on any big stations, so she's not sort of doing it for money. She's just coming outside as a mum and, because of her kids and wanting it to end. So I went to abcnews.com and I have it's abcnews.go.com, and I wanted to just go through a few things that they said about not only the interview outside her house, but the interview she done with Good Morning America on the next, that same day it came out actually. Eva Law Verdane, welcome. Haven't seen him before. It means you can't leave a vehicle parked there overnight, etc. Yeah. So I'm saying that may be why the parents grabbed the vehicle that day and took it back. but I still don't know how they knew the vehicle was where it was, but it just sounds like it was at an entrance to the park. If anyone can let me know about that. Hi, Autumn Falls, good to see you. That's interesting. I know here they put slips of paper on cars to mark them as abandoned. I think eventually tow trucks come and remove them. I think that's right. So I think that may be why they took it. They came and took the Mustang back. Everlaw, they probably got hold of his mum via the registration, and that's how mum and dad found out and went to bring it home. Right. Thank you, Everlaw. So that sounds about right. That sounds like something that would happen, that they'd find the car. Although, is it registered to Brian or is it registered to his mum and dad? I'm not quite entirely sure. So we don't have too many rules in here, guys. Be kind, be respectful, don't be a dick. It's pretty simple. So if you're going to have different opinions, that's fine. Just don't be rude and be stupid about it. We're all adults, and we just want to have a bit of a chat and talk about things. Yeah, so nothing. Sugar. Another couple had footage from their dash cam. Oh, right, Sugar. Was that footage of the car, of the Mustang? Is that what you're talking about? Autumn, maybe they co-signed for it. The possibility, if they co-signed for it, I guess. And then they'd have, I mean, this is different from New Zealand, of course. I'm just speculating what happens in America because I'm not there. So feel free to let me know. But yeah, maybe they did co-sign for it. Oh, hi, Q-Colop. Thank you very much. Hello, my dear. Stopped by to show you love. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I like it when Q-Carlock has a channel. And I just got to say, even if creators have different opinions, I like it when they can just support each other. And I don't know if there's enough of that going around on YouTube at the moment. And I think, you know, us creators all work for the same ending. We want to help these cases. We want them to we want justice for families and victims, and we want cases to be solved. We want people to be found, and creators should support each other. True crime on YouTube should not be about drama. Just saying. But thank you, Q Carlock, for popping in. I do appreciate that. Sugar said that is how they knew where to find the van. Yeah, I'm talking about the Mustang, Sugar. I'm not if we're on the right car. I'm talking about the Mustang when Brian went missing or on the run, whichever way you think it is. He left his car, the Mustang, and took off into the Carlton Reserve, presumably. Can't say that word. Q Carlock says absolutely. So I really appreciate that. Now, I want to just have a look at what we've got on screen here, abcnews.go.com, and I just wanted to go over a few things that Cassie sort of said in these interviews that she did. I don't know. She apparently said, I would tell my brother to just come forward and get us out of this horrible mess. And this is what she told ABC News in an interview that aired Tuesday on Good Morning America. She also said her brother and parents stopped by for an ordinary visit the day he returned. And now this will be the 1st of September. She said that her parents and Brian just turned up unannounced, and she knew her parents were coming, but she didn't know Brian was coming. So this is what we thought. I really wish he had come to me the first day with the van, she said, because I don't think we'd be here. I'm not sure what she means by that. Pam Smith, welcome, honey. I appreciate you stopping in. I'm trying to do a time that that a lot of people can come in and chat, not just the Kiwis, and yeah, but everybody. Cassie Laundrie also said it was pretty typical of them to argue and try and take space from each other. But then again, she said that she never witnessed any signs of domestic violence. So, pretty typical of, I mean, everybody argues, you know, but she never witnessed any signs of domestic violence. Okay. Cassie also said that she does not know where her brother is, and if she did, she would turn him in. She said the last time she saw or heard from him was on September the 6th when they went to Fort DeSoto Park. That was her parents, Brian and Cassie, and also her kids. We just went for a couple of hours and we ate dinner and had s'mores around the campfire and left. And there was nothing peculiar about it. She said, feeling of grand goodbye, there was nothing. She said, I'm frustrated. In hindsight, I didn't pick up on anything. It was just a regular visit. She said, it's unusual for her brother to disappear for this long. She said, I worry about him. I hope he's okay. And then I'm angry and I don't know what to think, she said. I hope my brother is alive because I want answers just as much as everybody else. She said she had been cooperating with authorities since day one and she called on her parents to do the same. I don't know if my parents are involved, she said. I think if they are, then they should come clean. An attorney for the Laundrie family has previously told ABC News in a statement that parents Chris and Roberta Laundrie do not know where Brian is. They are concerned about Brian and hope the FBI can locate him, the attorney said. The speculation by the public and some in the press that the parents assisted Brian in leaving the family home or in avoiding arrest on warrant that was issued after Brian had already been missing for several days is just wrong. While she remains concerned for her brother, Cassie told ABC News that she is also mourning for Gabby and wants Gabby's family to know that her heart is with them. They deserve answers, she said. So what do you think of that, guys? Annie, did anyone see on Brian Enton Twitter with the ex-FBI agent, she doesn't believe Cassie not knowing more about their domestic violence in the relationship as they all live together? Right, so I heard that indeed Cassie and her family lived with her parents for a little while the house was getting renovated. That's just what I heard. Yeah, interesting. Is she saying the right things? Curious. Hey, darling. Good afternoon, ladies and gents. Good afternoon. Good to see you. Sugar, there's another YouTuber that did a 2-hour coverage video of this case. Her name is Kendall Ray. She did a really good job. You should watch it. It's had lots of facts in it. Thank you very much, Sugar. Just for the record, I tend to not let other channel names be said in the chat, even though there's a lot of great channels. Sometimes that can set people off to have some arguments about which ones they like and don't like, and I just don't really want that in here. So we won't sort of talk about new ones, YouTubers going forward. Everlaw, Autumn, yes, lived in BC all our lives, just moved to Ontario a year ago as COVID began. Hey, Annie, she says she has also said she doesn't believe that she didn't know more about his disappearance. Right. Curious Kiwi says she loves Kendall Ray. Yeah, I love Kendall Ray too. Autumn Falls, I don't know what to think of Cassie. She might be totally oblivious. Sometimes domestic violence can be very well hidden or ignored. You're right, Autumn Falls. It can be ignored and it can be well hidden. So we don't know what she's seen, this Cassie. you know, something I want to believe her so much, you know, because she's calling out her parents, you know, if you know anything, you've got to come forward. And she said she's assisting the FBI and the law enforcement. Now, I must say, she also said that the FBI has told her that she's not allowed to say quite a few things. So we have to remember that there is stuff that she isn't going to say. And if the FBI told me to shut up, then I would shut up. So we don't know. I have Brian Enton's Twitter. I only started Twitter a wee while ago, guys, and actually figured out how to use it. I think I'm using it. So it's TJ at, I forgot, TJ at Missing NZ, I think. Hang on, I'll go find myself on Twitter. Oh, sugar, don't be sorry. You know, no one has to be sorry in my stream. Just don't spread hate and bullshit, and that's all that matters. You know, some people have heard rumors this way and some people have heard rumors this way. We just want to see if we can get down to the facts and see if we can dispel some of those rumors. We may not. They may not. So if I went to home, would that tell me what my handle is, my Twitter handle? I'm so technically challenged, guys. I don't know. Well, hang on, what about profile? So I'm TJ at NZ Missing, apparently. So if you are on Twitter, please. I don't know what you do. Do you follow me? Please follow me on Twitter. So I'm keeping an eye on Brian Enton's Twitter because he usually has the most up-to-date news. Now, I want you to look at this picture when it comes up, if it comes up. This photograph was released today, or it's the first time that I've seen it, and the original one had a few other family members in it. But this is supposed to be Brian with long hair, obviously, as you can see. Now, the picture quality looks as though it's one of those pictures that's taken in the 70s or something, just like the coloring and the clothing people were wearing and this sort of stuff. Do we think this is Brian, really? So this one here came from J for Justice. I've seen this one, this picture, but I'm trying to watch Brian's Twitter to see if any information comes out. Hi, Anna. Anna, you think, yes, that's Brian? It's pity we can't see him walk as well. Looks like in high school, maybe 5 years or so. Yeah, I agree, but it was just the quality of the picture. That's all that sort of got me, because it just didn't seem like the bright quality we get off phones or cameras these days. So, and he's what, 23? So it looks like he might have had a long hair moment. Oh, here is Kiwi. Apparently, the Laundrie's lawyer has just put out that the FBI has asked Christopher Laundrie to come and help with the search in the next few days. Interesting. Where did you hear that from? Curious. She says, look at the ears, sticky outy like Brian's. There's lots of bald people or people with hair with sticky outy ears. I'm one of them. Evalua says it looks like he's cropped out of a group photo. Yeah, he is. I seen the original photo on a channel earlier, and it did have a couple of yeah, I don't know why I can't show you the. I also want to be careful of copyright, because I really don't want to get copyright strike. So I'm trying to be very careful. No, that one's not coming up. Okay, so I'm going to keep trying to follow Brian Enton because he seems to be the one that knows. Now, this morning or today, there was more police activity at the Carlton Reserve than there has been for a long time. It looks like activity had died down a little bit. So what you can see on your screen is activity going on in Carlton Reserve today. We don't know what that means. Curious says she can't remember where she heard it. That's okay. She doesn't have Twitter, but he puts out his statements on there. Something. Anna, they were from New York, right? So the Gabby's family were from New York, and they are in New York. Although before Gabby and Brian went on their couple of month excursion, she was living with Brian in the parents' home. Autumn Falls, who is Brian Enton. He is a reporter that is in Florida, and he does some stints outside the laundry home, and he seems to have up-to-date information from News Nation Now, and he seems to have most of the up-to-date information that happens on the case, and he tends to keep everyone in the loop as well. Autumn, he's a news reporter for News Nation Now. He's been really great, and he's usually out at the laundry's house live or up in a helicopter over reserve. So this, what you can see, they're flying a drone, the law enforcement. Now, we know that the feds, the FBI, are in charge of it, of the search of the case, and Northport Police are assisting. But this is the activity that was out there today. I've since heard that they have left. There doesn't seem too much searching apart from having the drone out. So does this mean anything? Have they had a tip? We don't know. But definitely a sort of resurgence in some activity around there today. Now, I did hear some unconfirmed information, so please just know that this is unconfirmed, that they had found remains of someone that had been out there for a long time, but this is just not confirmed. I have not been able to confirm that anywhere. None of the big channels are saying that. Autumn thinks there's been some controversy over Twitter and a certain YouTuber, so I had to ask. That'd be my phone. Let's not let my phone go. I try to make sure the info I get for this case is clean and not gossip, etc. Yeah, I definitely try to base information of facts. I try. That's for sure. Anna says they're looking for a canoe. Maybe. Yeah, Autumn, Brian is totally legit. Little Pookie, I should say. Hey, hun, welcome. I was hoping you were able to join us. You're definitely one of the reasons I went live earlier today, to see if you were around, to see if a few of my subs were around. So it's really great to have you here. Yeah, her name's cool, isn't it? So, you know, if you have any theories, or I'd love to hear them. Where do you think he is? The only other thing that I heard today was the Laundry family apparently have said that Brian may have left on Monday the 13th instead of Tuesday the 14th. Remember, he wasn't reported missing for a few days after that. But I'm not sure of where the information comes from, so I'm not sure about that. Anna, you have no idea? So we're still getting people, because I've been watching some streams trying to catch up, and we're still having people that are certain that he is in another country. We have people that are certain that he has gone to Cuba. And the thing is, I think in a canoe, which is what people think may have happened, it's like 90 miles for us Kiwis. I'm going to have to look that up because I don't know how much 90 miles is. Oh, thank you so much, Little Pookie. I really appreciate that. So let's go miles versus kilometers, because us Kiwis use kilometers. We don't use miles. So, because I'm really bad at anything to do with numbers, let's put 90. Convert. Okay, so 90 miles is 144 kilometers, guys. So I don't know. I doubt that one a little bit. Thanks, Little Pookie. I really appreciate that. I don't know what to think about Brian's family. It could be that he kept them in the dark, or it could be that he tried to help him by finding him. Oh, so help him by hiding him. Yeah, so is he in the bush or is he hiding somewhere? That's what, yeah, definitely. I thought he'd head to, why would he head to New York? I'm not sure why you think he would head there. Oh, because his lawyer's there? Gotcha. NZM, his lawyer, corrected the original date and said he was last seen by family September 13th, not 14th. He says, I wish the lawyer would piecemeal info out and just do a press conference. I wish he'd damn well do a press conference too, and just send these little messages. Thanks for that. My name's TJ, so if you don't want to put NZM, you're right. Little Pookie, love this creator and content. Thank you so much. So, guys, I don't usually do lives. I do videos about unsolved cases in New Zealand and some from around the world. So please check out my channel, New Zealand Mysteries, and have a look at some of those. If you're a big John Lawden fan, I've even done an interview with John Lawden and recorded it, and that's in my videos as well. So please take a look. What do we got? Show, goddammit. Yeah, Gabby was from New York. That's right. Gabby was, and her family are from New York, but she was living in Florida with Brian and his parents prior to going on their trek. And he says, you'd think with the head start he had would be far away rather than in Florida in the bush somewhere, but who knows? Yeah, if he's in the bush, if I believed, which I'm not sure, if I believe he was in the bush, I don't think he would have stuck around Florida. Surely he wouldn't have been that stupid. With all those, all the time he had, surely he would have gone further. But then I'm thinking, was that car just in the missing report just a red herring, which, you know, a few of us think, and actually he's in someone's house right now and just living the life, except being able to go out, and people are getting his food and anything else that he needs to him. So either, I don't know, because I really think that they went out on the 6th to the campground, and while they just say they were doing s'mores, I think they were making a plan to, you know, for Brian to hide and what was going to happen. I don't know what the end game, I don't know what they thought the end game would be, whether they said, oh, son, go on, onto the Appalachian Trail for a couple of months and then come back, it would have all died down. You'll be fine. Or go to this person's house and camp out for a couple of weeks, and all this will die down and you can come home. Don't know. Anna says, I heard his lawyer had a house selling license. I haven't checked, but it's been said, I don't know who it's been said from, that he's just a real estate lawyer, so usually doesn't cover cases like this. I don't know. Little Pookie, John Lawden had a lot of good stuff to say. He always has a lot of good stuff to say. Eva, yes, Lawden Arts is the best. No drama, just facts. Absolutely. He is definitely one of the people that I look up to on this channel and on the internet and for true crime in general. He is why I got into YouTube, because I found his channel when he was doing the Elisa Lam case, and I got hooked. Autumn Falls says maybe he thinks he could outweight the cops. Not sure if he has planned past that though. And I think Brian couldn't survive in the bush without help. I wonder too if he thought he could just outweight the cops and somewhere, and the parents said, oh, it won't take long for it to die down. But I wonder if they just didn't realize that it was going to go crazy and the whole world would look for him and get so obsessed with this case. I think they didn't think that would happen. Autumn Falls, excuse the typos. I'm also cooking dinner. You are excused, my lady. Evalor, I just am leaning to Brian having taken his life. Okay. I don't feel he was truly expert in survival in remote areas. He was disappeared before Gabby's body was found and would have known she is deceased in guilt. Okay. So you think that he could have taken his own life? That's fair enough. Before we talk about that, though, expert in survival. Now, before Cassie came out the other day and did a press conference, I heard rumors going around that Brian could stay for a couple of months out on the Appalachian Trail by himself. And Cassie said in her interview something around the lines of, he's a mediocre survivor, and he's only been out for like a week at a time where he has to survive. So I don't know what the truth is, but I know he has some skills. I just don't know how good they are. As far as leaning to Brian taking his life, it's a possibility, definitely. But where, I guess, and why haven't they found his body yet? If that was the case, could he have hid it in such a really, remote place that dogs and police and FBI can't find the body? That's just what I think. Annie, come back. I'm trying to put you up there. I found it interesting in the Dr. Phil interview part 2 with all her parents, when her stepfather put the stone cross where her body laid. He said there was a clearing where a tent would go. Oh, thanks, Annie. I haven't actually seen the Dr. Phil interviews. So, yeah, I had work last night. I finished at 10. I went to my son's house. I went to the bakery. Not a good look. Afterwards, went to my son's house and had feed. Come home, went to bed, woke up at lunchtime here and jumped on. So I haven't really had a chance to look at much. Sugar, damn it. Wow, Annie, I haven't watched part 2 yet. Yeah, it'll be really interesting when I get some information and I get to see this stuff. Show. Sorry, guys, I'm fighting here. remnants of a firing, and her body was left right in front of the firing, so they must have camped at that spot. Annie, is this what you got from the Dr. Phil show? That's really interesting. If this was sourced from the Phil show, Dr. Phil show, then this is really, really interesting. Curious Kiwi, they also removed a lot of rocks from the site. Oh, okay. Oh my God, you're going too quick for me. It's only 11 people. I love having small groups though, so we can talk. Autumn Falls says, I don't know. Come on, Everlaw. Yes, mediocre plus out on the Appalachian. He hadn't yet killed someone. Little Pookie, the USA is in autumn now. Winter will not be easy. Yeah, that's another thing. Though I guess that depends where he is. If he's in Florida, then winter's not going to matter. If he's on that Appalachian Trail, I guess winter depends what part of it, because it spans so many states. Depends what part of it he's on, but definitely. It could be very hard if he has to be out there. But he's going to need supplies too, isn't he? If he is out there, he's going to need supplies. Autumn Falls, I don't know how cold it's getting there, but here it's getting to 0 Celsius. So it's hard if you don't have equipment. Plus, he'd have to either have large food stores or hunt and gather food. Yeah, absolutely. I believe he needs supplies eventually. He'd also contend with animals foraging for winter. If they've got bears, cougars, and whatnot, he'd be hard-pressed to survive. Oh, what a scary thought. We don't have those things in New Zealand. Thank goodness for that. So, Everlaw show. He says, exactly autumn and little time to really plan it. I felt after they seized the van, he knew he was toast. Yeah, because I reckon they only had those few hours at the campground in Fort DeSoto to decide what was going to happen and decide on a plan. Autumn Falls says, quite possible, but why would he run away before killing himself? Annie Hall, yes, Dr. Phil. Thank you. I just wanted to see if it was confirmed information. That's really interesting. Very interesting. Let's see what we're all saying. Her stepfather said it all that. That's interesting. It's good hearing from the family, because we haven't heard from Gabby Petito's family for a little while, and all 4 of them look like amazing people. And you know what? And it's amazing to see 2 lots of parents, the biological parents and the step parents, being so and acting so great together, and no fighting, and coming together for Gabby and for the cause. I think it could teach YouTubers a lot about getting on with each other and behaving like adults. That's what I think. Who have we got? Anna, come on, man. It seems like the stream is a bit slow. They can get DNA from hands off rocks now, Chris has, and the specialist on the channel. Okay. What are you doing? Sorry, guys. I don't know why it's taking. Curious Kiwi, he better like pumpkins and cabbage. Which leads me to another thing. Craziest shit I've seen on YouTube. I won't say that because I've seen some crazy shit on YouTube. But the drone footage that went over the backyard of the laundry's house the other day that we all saw, which was quite interesting, and they were doing their gardening like they didn't give a shit. Apparently, someone took a still footage from it and thinks they had a hand poking up from the garden, and now they said that they think that Brian Laundrie is buried under the cabbages. I don't even have anything to say about that because it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Annie says, I found that new info from Stepdad has given us a whole lot more info. Yeah, I'm going to have to try and watch it. As I always thought, they must have been hiking along there when he did something to her. Q now is what date did they set up camp? Right. Oh, come on. Stream. Oh, no, you're gone. Show. Hey, Judy. When I can figure this out, it's great to see you. Thanks for coming along. Tony Crawford, it's so good to see you, hon. You're awesome, TJ. Thank you. Autumn Falls say, what? That's bizarre. About the hand? It is bizarre. Just goes to show you what sort of crazy shit people will make up. I don't know. It's bizarre. Annie Hall says, oh, yeah, I was joking the other night. Remember saying he might be in the garden. That's right. We were having a bit of a laugh about it. But, yeah, there's his hand. So you can go watch it on the YouTube. It's crazy. It's funny. Judy, yes, I gave you a wrench. I know you will be reliable and honest. I know you will. Thank you so much. Everyone's allowed their different opinions as long as you're not a dick and you're rude and kind, and that's all that matters. Don't bash anyone. Don't bash me. Evelyn Verdane, that's scary is how many people actually believe that stuff. Yeah, I know, right? Something comes up and people think it's fact. And that's how rumors get started, isn't it? And then it goes, bah. That's just nuts, man. Autumn says, I have heard that bodies make good fertilizer. Yeah, I heard that too. The FBI have been all over his parents' house and yard. They would have spotted fresh turned earth. Did they take dogs to search the laundry's house? I don't think I remember seeing dogs, but yeah. I guess if they were there. Funny, Evelor, if you had a line. You guys are funny. Judy says, if a hand came out of the ground like that in my veggie patch, I'd be screaming and jumping. I know, right? It's the weirdest thing. But people believe what they want to believe, and that's how rumors get started, eh? So I'm just going back to Brian Enton on Twitter to see if there's anything new. We've got some new stuff happening in New Zealand. Oh, okay, hang on. I had something else. Okay, I have something. Let's have a look. Okay, 13 minutes ago, Brian Enton said, Laundrie attorney Mr. Bertolino says Chris Laundrie was asked to help police in search at the reserve today. His statement, Chris Laundrie was asked to assist law enforcement in their search for Brian at the preserve today since the preserve has been closed to the public. Chris has not been able to look for Brian in the only place Chris and Roberta believe Brian may be. Unfortunately, Northport Police had to postpone Chris's involvement, but Chris and Roberta are hopeful there will be another opportunity to assist. Okay, all right. So he was asked to assist. Very, 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 very interesting. I'm just trying to see because he says he's going live. Brian Enton said he's going live soon. So I'm just going to see if he is and stuff. Autumn says, in all seriousness, I think the police or the press would notice if there was a dead body. Yeah. Kira's Kiwi says, I think they meant he was alive under there. Right. Anna says, do you guys know the name of the hotel Brian was taken to after him and Gabby got pulled over? No, I do not. No, I do not. Just give me a moment, guys. I don't see News Nation Now live yet. It would help if I subscribe to them, wouldn't it? Sorry, guys. Give me a mo. Deals. Give me a mo. So I'm just going to quickly go and see. No, I don't see him. But Brian Enton definitely gives up, gives good information. And you guys, you're off. Autumn says, I just Googled and it's lime here in New Zealand. Over there in the States, I've mostly called it quicklime. Little Pookie says that lime will hasten decay. All right, so we're getting tips on how to get rid of a body now. So everyone take notes. You guys crack me up. Judy says, when I asked for advice on bunkers in Florida, a viewer said the water table is too low for that, so I don't know. Yeah, I actually believe that's true. They live too low, close to sea level, so they don't have bunkers and they don't have basements. Some people reckon that, I've heard, some people reckon that Brian's hiding in the family home inside his parents' house. The FBI has been there a few times, so I'm pretty sure if he was there, they would have found him. Autumn says, so the male body found in the same forest wasn't Brian. Somewhat ironically, the guy's last name was Lowry, which is similar to laundry. That is a bit ironic, isn't it? Yeah, they did find a male body of not Brian. See you, Sugar. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Eva Law was looking last night. They had said close to the Moonflower. I narrowed to two possible. I think Bell Motel, possibly, but not sure. Bell Motel. I don't know if I like the name. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. The neighbours would see something like that, Little Pookie said, yeah. Autumn Falls, that would make sense. They are close to sea level. Tony says, conspiracies aside, I myself have been into a yard where the owner actually has a shipping container dug in under his yard, ventilation pipes to the surface for air, etc. Now it's simply his doomsday. Interesting. Interesting. Evalaw, yes, sadly today they announced Mr. Lowry is self-inflicted. That's very, very sad. Evalaw. He says, oh my God, Bowen Hotel, not Bell Hotel. I was wondering, I thought, oh, Bell Hotel sounds like, that sounds funny. I don't know if it would have been that one, but oh, funny. Tony says, I thought maybe he'd just be at home, but the FBI are in and out, and then surely they'd find him by now. Yeah, I would have thought so. Don't worry, Evalaw. That's funny as shit. We all make mistakes. You can just blame it on autocorrect, Oh, it's so funny. Some of the ridiculous stuff that comes out. Oh, that's so sad. So sad. Cool, just checking for any updates. I don't see anything there. I don't know. That's a crazy case. It's a crazy case. And, it's crazier that over here in little old NZ, we are definitely following this case. A lot of people are. Little Pookie says, yeah, blame it on autocorrect anyway. Evalaw says, no, Autumn, all my 10 fingers typing, which means 10 times worse. I have my days typing, believe me. Especially on a phone, it's much harder with autocorrect. Sometimes just drive you insane. Curious, yeah. Yeah, the whole bunker thing is bizarre. It is bizarre. So I'm having problems with StreamYard at the moment, bringing up comments. Judy says one of those underground in New Zealand would mean drugs, like an underground bunker or something. It's not something we have here in New Zealand, and we don't generally have basements too much here in New Zealand either. Little Pookie says, Anna, too close to sea level. Most Florida homes do not have basements. In Louisiana, most are buried above ground because of low ground swamps. Well, that's interesting. Buried above ground. I'm not quite sure what that means, but yeah. Autumn says, if Brian were hiding in Florida outdoors, would he have to worry about gators? If someone knows about Florida, I'd love to hear about gators. I certainly have thought both in the Carlton Reserve and in Camp Fort DeSoto, we're dog searching, that it looks like alligator land to me, but I don't know much about alligators, so someone needs to let us know. Tony says, yeah, the container freaks me out, but like I said, it's his doomsday set up. Not up to me to say anything other than what he says. It's a private farm. Fair enough. Mausoleums got ya. Hello, Kimberly M. Welcome back, honey. Awesome to have you the other night. I just thought I'd come a bit on earlier for those that couldn't make the late show. Not a big show, but you know what I mean. Autumn Falls. We don't have anything that's scary here in Canada. Bears scare me less than gators. Yeah, we are really lucky in NZ because we actually don't have gators and we don't have bears and we don't have squirrels. Squirrels look cute. We don't have squirrels. Don't have snakes. We don't have big spiders. So I think, yeah, we're pretty lucky in New Zealand for sure. Judy says, yes, the water table would flood anything low or the pressure would collapse the wall. So why aren't you? Everlaw says you don't have spiders there, do you, in New Zealand? Yeah, we have like daddy long legs and littler spiders, and we have white-tailed spiders. And I think we have like some redbacks like in sand dunes, but that's it. We don't have no tarantulas or huntsmans and any of those big ones. I mean, the ones we have are big enough to scare me stupid, to be honest. I know when I see a spider, I nearly faint and I cry, which is funny. Oh, Kimberly, you've been packing for your vacation because you're going to Florida, aren't you? Tony says, I imagine if I were outdoors on the run, I'd choose a location with fresh water and maybe easy food like fruit trees, fish, or small game. Be hard to pop in and out of town for supplies. How hard would it be for him to go to a little town for supplies? If he has grown his hair out, he may have shaved his facial hair, he may be wearing a hat, and he could be wearing a mask, and then chuck on some sunglasses, and you're never going to know that it's him. Apart from his duck walk, if you're looking for Brian Laundrie, look for the duck walk. And Jamie, hi Jamie. We have whitetails, have heaps where we are. No. Oh, nothing like Australia, thank God. No. Jamie says rats scare you. No, the rats don't scare me so much. I grew up like with pet rats. I know they're not the same as the wild ones because some of them are huge, but I don't know. I'm not too worried about. Yeah, Tony says, yes, I read he has a funny little waddle going on. Yeah, and I admit the other night I was really immature and I was laughing a lot about the fact that Brian has a condition and he walks funny. I admit that I may have been a little immature and may have had a good laugh about the fact that he looks like a duck when he walks. You know, we can all be a little bit immature at times, can't we? Kimberly says she has one on her front porch that's huge. I need to go knock it down. Oh, bugger that. Yes, Brian Laundrie has a very distinctive walk. So one day, here it is. Annie says, Everlaw, in my suburb here in New Zealand, we have a particular spider only in our suburb. Oh, they were used in the film Arachnophobia in the 90s. Not sure if you've seen it. Really, Annie? That scares the bejesus out of me. I don't want that. No. I watched that Arachnophobia. I'll tell you something funny. When I was like maybe preteen, when that came out, and I was staying at a mate's place, we were having a sleepover, and we watched Arachnophobia. Well, I woke up in the middle of the night having nightmares, crying, and had to go home. So, yeah, no spiders for me. Funny as shit. Kimberly, she says she hasn't even finished packing. I thought I'd take a break. Well, why not take a break with us? Huh? That's pretty cool. Evelyn says, oh yeah, Annie Hall on the film. Oh my God, now my skin is shivering in fright. I know what you mean. It's so disgusting. Anna, yes, he waddles. When he walks, it's he has his feet out sort of like that, and he walks. It's you gotta go find it and have a look. Oh, yeah. I hope the weather is nice for you, Kimberly, in Florida. I'm sure it's going to be. If he's holed up in a B&B somewhere, it would be easy enough to get supplies delivered without the delivery person seeing you. He could even be in his parents' neighborhood. Yeah, do you know what? I'm so 50-50. Half of me thinks he's out in the bush somewhere or whatever, or on the Appalachian Trail, and half of me thinks that he's actually either with another relative or a friend, and he's holed up somewhere. Um, and you're right, he can have food delivered to him, and nobody could see him. He could be in a old motel, you know, those motels. I know you have to show ID for a lot of motels in the US, but there are some motels that would just take cash. You know, they rent rooms by the hour or by the day or by the week. If he's in a hotel somewhere, he could just get room service and everything. So, yeah, I don't know how long he thinks he's going to stay there, but Tony says, such a big area to search, not much longer, and the search will have to end. He probably knows this and is just waiting it out. Feels so wrong, especially when he's potentially finding a new victim. Yeah, maybe he is like just waiting it out, you know, but do you think with all the attention that's going on the laundries at the moment that he can just wait till that ends and just come back home? If the protesters in the news have moved from laundry's home, surely the neighbors would see Brian anyway. One thing I did mention that we did discuss the other day was that I think news reporters have rented either houses around the laundry's home or something like, or rented driveways. I got told, or I seen, that some neighbors have been given $3,500 for people to use their houses and use their facilities. And Anna says they should be plastering that all over his waddle. Well, yeah. How high up is the Appalachian? I know we're getting snow this weekend, and if it's high up, there could be snow there already. Oh, wow. So some of it gets snow. Tony says, old motels. Yep, I hear you there. Little Pookie says if he isn't in an Airbnb, then he has to have help. Somebody helping him at this point could face charges as an accessory in impeding investigation. Right. Yeah. So how long are the protesters going to be there? How long a news service is going to be camped outside the laundry home? I mean, it's not as though they can do this forever. I'm just checking to see if there's anything new going on, but I haven't seen anything. But if you've heard information that I haven't, yeah. With those bullhorns on the streets, I would leave too. Right? Oh, that would drive me absolutely around the bend. and I can understand why Cassie came out and asked the protesters to stop. But from what I've seen, the bullhorn's gone. She's just yelling now, from what I've seen lately. Just yelling, which has been enough. Anna says, me too, I can't understand how that's even legal, a blowhorn. Yeah, I don't know what sort of noise what noise sort of things they have in Florida. I heard that it's after 10 p.m. You can be done for noise and that they leave. I know that they've gone to the protesters like every hour on the hour. They yell and scream for like 5 minutes, and the rest of the time they shut up so the neighbours can get rest and so forth. What we did see earlier on the people watching the Laundry's house is that the neighbours got some beer delivered. So whether it's the actual neighbours or whether it's news reporters in that house, they got a beer today, so they must be feeling better. Annie says, what about someone said that maybe their lawyer could be holding him up somewhere as he was a real estate lawyer or something? So I've heard that he's a real estate lawyer, but he'd have to get all the way to New York because the lawyer's in New York. And do you really think a lawyer would protect this little douchebag? For what reason? What reason would anyone put themselves in danger to hide this dickhead, really? Little Pookie says, that hollering in the street is obnoxious. They have been warned they can face fines. Okay, well, actually, I agree. It's obnoxious, and it's not something that would happen in New Zealand, that's for sure. We'd get told to shut the fuck up. But if the protesters hadn't been outside Cassie's house, then perhaps she may not have come out and given a statement, and we wouldn't know a few things. So they did make a difference in that respect. Little Pookie, the police were there with a reading of excessive noise by decibel readings. Okay, so that's what there must be some law that you could only be so loud or something. Tony, I know a fella who looks exactly like him here in Waiuku. Absolutely freaked me out. I showed him, and now he watches the channels and joined the search. Oh, funny. There's so many people that look like Brian Laundrie around the States and in New Zealand. And the funniest shit, I was going to a head scan a couple of days ago and driving along, and this little white van came out of a side street, and I immediately in my head, oh my God, that's Gabby's van, or that looks like Gabby's van. And I'm thinking, well, how would Gabby's van get to New Zealand? So I'm pretty sure it wasn't. But, it's affecting people. When you hear so much about this case and you're onto it and you're reading different things, these things get stuck in your brain. You don't want a wrench. I don't think I can actually. I have to go on another screen, Anna, and I'll sort that out sooner for you. Kimberly says, my daughter said someone said they saw Brian somewhere here in Tennessee. There is a lot of people that have been saying sightings. That's for sure. Just give me a moment, guys. There's been quite a few sightings of Brian Laundrie, and there was the guy that they seen on the Appalachian Trail. If this is the same one we're talking about, is on the Appalachian Trail. He's 99.99% positive that who he saw was Brian, even to the point that after Brian and him had stopped talking, he took out his phone and looked it up to see what he looks like. And he's like, yeah, that's definitely the guy that I seen. It was Dennis. And his 911 call is released on the internet. It's all over YouTube. So if you want to have a look at or listen to that, you can have a look. Kimberly, autumn falls. I hear you. I am close to the Appalachian Trail, so we are keeping our eyes open. Yeah, and you can keep your eyes open when you go to Florida as well. Tell us what people are saying and what the townsfolk are thinking, and yeah. Unless you want to just ignore us, Kimberly, and have a great holiday. We'd understand that too. Autumn falls, for sure, it's always worth looking into, but I know sightings in general are unreliable, and if Brian is any sort of smart, he'd change his appearance. Absolutely, but we were talking the other night, autumn falls, and people come forward when they have a sighting, and in most cases, there's people genuinely believe that this is Brian that they're seeing, and sometimes these people get bullied and made fun of and mocked. Oh, you didn't see him, you're just doing it for the cred, or you're just doing it to put yourself in the case. And we want people to ring in. That's how we're going to find Brian, because I reckon he's going to be found by a member of the public. He's going to F up and he's going to get seen somewhere, and that's how he's going to be caught. Now, for that to happen, we need people to come forward, because that's the way he's going to get caught. So we need to, rather than discourage people from calling in sightings, we definitely need to encourage. And if he's smart, he would change his appearance. Of course, I mean, that's just something you would do, you know. I think he got on a ship and is in another country. We've talked a little about that, though. Autumn, you've got the same thoughts as me. Would that be easy to do, get on a ship without documentation, showing ID and stuff? How easy is that with that stupid virus going around? I mean, our borders are closed here in New Zealand, so he can't come here. We're happy about that. Everlaw says that man was 99.99% incorrect, as stated by the police there. They tracked down the guy in the white truck, and it wasn't Brian. Guy asking about California was not asking about the state, but it's a town. Okay, Everlaw, I didn't see that it was sort of debunked, so thank you for that. Kimberly says, oh no, I will make some time for YouTube on my vacation. Thank you. And he says, I believe the guy himself believed that he saw him. Yeah. Yes, I think that most people that have a Brian sighting actually believe. Sightings should still be reported, but I don't always put much credit in them. Absolutely, they should always be reported, and we want people to report them, but it's just a matter of when they do come out, you have to think of does this sound right, or what are they doing it for? What's this one? Little Pookie. If the FBI thought it was him, every road in any direction would be blocked. Or maybe it's better with technology, since people can Google him and compare the person to a photo. Absolutely. And I mean, you can find his face everywhere. Everlaw says it seems harder to change one's appearance if they have a shaved head, though. But couldn't he just grow his hair? Curious. Brian's got to run out of meds at some point. He might go a bit cray-cray, and that will make it easier to find him. I am not entirely sure if he's on meds. I haven't seen that confirmed anywhere. But if he's out on trails and in bush, he's going to need supplies. You're right. Hey, Aaron, good to see you. People need to come forward regardless of how small their info might seem. We've got false leads for Jess, but everything was worth following up on because it only takes one right one. Yeah, so he's talking about a missing young lady that's missing in New Zealand, and her name is Jess, and we've done a few updates and videos on my channel. Have a look at those. Aaron is a close relative or friend of Jess's, and he knows a lot of information. And me and him did an interview also, which is a video on my channel. Please go and watch it, about the details in Jess's case. It's very close to my heart, that case. It's very, very sad. Tony says borders lockdown is our saving grace. Yep, that's right, because he can't come here. Anna says, I like your hair like that, TJ. Thank you very much. So I just admitted the other night that I generally wear wigs in my videos because I've been really anxious of showing my true face, and now I'm just like over it. I'm just, over it. So that's why. But thank you very much, Anna. I appreciate that. Autumn Falls says, I think both him and Gabby had mental health issues, and he was predisposed to abuse of some sort, and it escalated in that close environment in the van. Not much planning involved. Yeah, well, we don't really know. They may have had mental health issues. They may have had mental health issues. They may not have had. I don't know. I haven't actually seen that confirmed anywhere. Got to run, Anna. Thank you. See ya. If I miss your comment, I'm sorry, but there's a lot. Evalor said, yes, NZM, there is a little town called California in North Carolina near the Appalachian Trail. Anna said, thin his eyebrows down, watch his walk. That walk. Autumn Falls said, a mask would hide his face at a baseball cap and he might go unnoticed. Yeah. Eva Law, he was still shaved head when he saw his sister at DeSoto Park on the 6th. Absolutely. But we don't know if he kept his bald head or whether he has... you wouldn't see it anyway with a hat on, would you? But he could be growing it. Who knows? Curious. Kiwi says the police asked him on body cam what meds he was on. Brian's answer was blocked out. Oh, interesting. And I know that in the body cam footage that Gabby said she suffered from OCD, but it was unclear whether she took medication for that or not. Kimberly says, I'm lovely. Little Peaky says, I'm beautiful. Oh, you are all gorgeous. Thank you so much. Everlaw, I'm really enjoying this chat because there aren't 1,000 chatters talking at the same time and we can actually have a conversation. Everlaw, this is meant to be like just sitting in your lounge, just having a natter with a bunch of friends, just rolling stuff off each other, all being respectful, polite, and we're not dicks. We're being adults. You're allowed to have a difference of opinion, but just don't be a dick about it. Autumn, I believe in the police's reports they did block it out, but missed one that said anxiety. Oh, okay. Everlaw, he's got those tattoos on his hands. They're like vines or something. Kimberly takes steroids for Addison's disease. disease. I look horrible. They make me well. Oh, make you swell. I'm so sorry that you're going through that, Kimberly. We're sending all our love to you, and we hope that you get better. He could hide his eyes with sunglasses or contact lenses. You all forgive me. I only had a few hours sleep. Don't worry, Kimberly. I knew how you feel. Judy says she's back. Welcome back, my dear. Getting ready for another influx of my grandchildren. I'm so excited. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Well, I'm glad you can be with us right now, Judy. You're welcome, Kimberly. So do you guys know if there was any updates from Dog's team today? It's not something I've heard. Autumn says she's trying to find confirmation about the anxiety thing. Thank you very much, because, yeah, I didn't hear any. You hear so much, and I try to talk about things that we have confirmation about, because I don't want to be a place that spreads rumors or anything like that. But yeah, we can talk about what you think, though. Little Pookie says grandbabies are so precious. Oh, they so are. I don't have any grandbabies, but my kids are old enough to have them. So, one day. I don't know if I want to be called like Nana or Grandma, though. Grandma sounds like someone in their 80s or something. That's like a really old name. Nana, yeah, I don't know. I just think I'm too cool and too young to be called Grandma or Nana. So if my kids have kids, we'll have to think about a new name. Everyone's different, though. Everyone has their different opinions, don't they? Curious Kiwi, I haven't heard nothing from Dog for a couple of days. Yeah, I didn't seem to think I heard anything from his team today. Little Pookie, your granny. Yeah, granny's not as bad as grandma, I reckon. Just my personal opinion, anyway. Autumn says, I'm not sure how much faith I have in Dog, to be honest. Yeah, we talked a little bit about Dog the Bounty Hunter the other day, Autumn, and you missed it. First of all, we're wondering how Dog got involved. Now, it's been said that he is actually on his honeymoon in Florida at the moment, and it's been said that the reason they are searching the Fort DeSoto campgrounds is because someone rang in a tip. Now, so does that mean someone rang in a tip and said, hey bro, to Dog, and said, I know you're on your honeymoon, but have you heard of this case going on in Florida at the moment? We've got this information that we think might be good about the case, and the police aren't searching this place. And that's how Dog decided, okay, well, I'm going to get into this then. There's no doubt that Dog being in the search has publicized it more. And made more people aware of the case, and that means more people are looking. So that's got to be a good thing. We know, from what I've heard, he is going on a new reality TV show soon, or another program. So is he just trying to do it to get fans for his new program? So what do you all think of? I'll think of that. Kimberly, did you all see Cassie's pics of Brian the day they met at the campsite? Make me so sick. Yes, I did. So Cassie said that she went for a couple of hours, and then she went for 6 hours, and I think she said she went for 8 hours to Fort DeSoto campground on the 6th. And they had s'mores, and they had some dinner, and then there's some photos of Brian hanging out with her children. And apparently they never discussed Gabby at all during all that time. So that makes no sense. Surely one of the first things he is going to say to Brian, oh, where's Gabby? What's, where is she? How come she's not here? Or is she gone home? Or, yeah, but apparently no. I don't know. Judy says they so are girls tonight and they call me Nan or Nanny. Nan doesn't sound too bad. Judy says her grandbabies melt her heart. Oh, so cute. Autumn, Granny sounds older than Grandma to me. Granny? Grandma? I know both sound old to me. Evalua, you are thinking the same thing about dog. Kimberly, it looked like he was having a great time. Makes me so angry. Yeah. Just like those laundries gardening out the back while their son is missing and all this stuff's going on, and they're just gardening, not a care in the world. It doesn't make sense in my mind. Annie says, Kimberly, yes, I thought the same, sitting there with his alleged murderous arms around his nephew. Nan doesn't sound too bad, though, says Judy. She says, that's what I was thinking when he's sitting on the down tree. It made me want to push him off. Kimberly says, the way he laughed, she laughed and smiled when she said, no, I don't know where Brian is. I don't believe a word she says. That's talking about Cassie. Curious Kiwi says, I don't know about dog either, but if he finds Brian, it's not going to make Ellie, law enforcement, look pretty. They're going to look pretty incompetent, yes. Thanks, Autumn Falls, for trying to look for that info. Great minds think alike, says Judy. She was too calm to be telling the truth. Little Pookie, it does sound old, but I had greenies. Other grandmother wanted grandma, so I agreed in the moment. Oh, funny. Annie, 6 hours and not one of them discussed Gabby not being there. Yeah, right. Nah, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Even if he said, oh, she's gone home or something, what makes you think those kids? Because apparently those kids adore their Aunt Gabby. So isn't it fair to say that the kids would have asked about her? Just sounds wrong. Curious. Perhaps Mrs. Laundry texted Cassie and told her they had broken up and not to ask. Perhaps, but it doesn't stop the kids asking. I don't know. But, I mean, I think they went there that day for Brian to have a last s'mores with his family. While his girlfriend was missing, and to see, his nieces and nephews, and to make plans for his escape plan. That's what they were doing there that day, in my belief. Autumn says, I guess the only good thing about dog is the increased publicity. Yes, I think that's definitely a possibility. Well, no, sorry, it's definitely good that having dog there is increasing the publicity. Now, what's going to be really embarrassing is that the law enforcement, like the North City Police, already have egg on their face, because when asked directly a question if they know where Brian Laundrie is, they said yes, and apparently no, he was missing for days. So they will have egg on their face. And if dog finds Brian before law enforcement, that's going to cause a whole lot of people over there not wanting to pay their taxes, just saying. And they definitely would have egg on their face again. Autumn says, found the info on Gabby's mental illness. It's in the one report. Haven't found anything about Brian, but I swear it was mentioned somewhere, maybe in the police video. Thank you, Autumn. So Little Pookie says, I think Brian convinced her she had OCD/anxiety. Her dad said he knew nothing of it. Okay. She denied being on meds to the traffic stop. Yeah. Little Pookie, you said Brian was convinced her that she has OCD and anxiety. That's interesting. Annie says, Cassie said Gabby wasn't discussed at all because the children were around. As we can see in her pics from that day, he was off playing with the nephews a bit, so surely she asks her parents about her. 100%. 100% when old Dick Brian is off playing with those kids, they're going to be speaking to each other and going, what's happened with Gabby? What happened? Why is it, she's not going to admit that they're out there hatching up an escape plan for Brian and figuring out all that. She's not going to admit to that, is she? Nah. Evalor, right, Little Pookie. However, her dad also admitted he never knew anything about the police stop in Moab. Oh, God. You know what's so hard? I mean, we want the body cam released of that stop because we want to see what happened. And but imagine her family having to see these videos, see these news coverage, and seeing her daughter's face out there all the time. I'm not sure if anyone's heard whether the families are behind the fact that the news is everywhere and that case is being talked about all over social media, whether they think that's great for the pressure on Brian or what they think. Little Pookie, it could also be that it cropped up under duress. Mental illness can do that and also comes on in the early 20s often. You're right. Autumn says, sorry, just let me check something, guys. Oops, I'm wrong. Page 2 says, Brian, told me they both suffer from redacted, although her redacted is more advanced than his. Very interesting. So they've blacked that out. So there's definitely something that Brian has said. Brian has said that they suffer from. I'm not sure why one of my comments was held for review. YouTube is weird. Yes, YouTube is weird. Curious says, I want to see the woman cop's body cam. Absolutely. Evalor says, yes, devastating for Gabby's family. I think Dad has said he basically can't watch that video from Moab. There's no way as a parent I could watch that either. I mean, it's just disturbing and so damn sad. What's your Autumn Fool says, why was your message held for review at Curious Kiwi? YouTube is weird. I don't know. I didn't see it. So, I mean, I trust you mods to be onto it. You know what's good and bad. Little Pookie, definitely stress definitely brings it out. They can't be abused without some anxiety and depression for sure. Okay. Evalor says that redacted part was the word anxiety. It was shown to be later on in video, or I forget at this moment where, okay, the anxiety. I'd have anxiety if I had to travel around in a van with that dickhead as well. I'd have really bad. anxiety. Absolutely. And her dad said he knew nothing about anxiety or OCD. Maybe he didn't. Maybe it's something that just happened during the trip, or maybe this information was coming from Brian. It said Brian said. Yeah. Hey, Kimberly, welcome back. Evalor, so much info overload at this point. Right? Right? My brain is going into slow remembering mode, laugh out loud. Yeah, I know. I wouldn't come on here if I didn't think that I had that I know a lot of facts about the case, because I'm not one that likes to put out rumors or anything like that. I like to try and think that I can base my opinion off fact and evidence. And we do have a bit going on, but it doesn't all sit properly and it doesn't all make sense. And there's so many unanswered questions. Trying to remember every detail. That's the point I'm getting at. Trying to remember every detail can be damn hard when there's so much. That's what the point I was trying to get to. Judy, the interview with the parents on Dr. Phil, have you guys seen that? No, I haven't had a chance to see that, Judy. So we're just relying on people that have seen it to let us know, because I just haven't had time. I finished work at 10 o'clock last night and got up at lunchtime today and got straight on, really. Autumn Falls said she has anxiety traveling around in a van. Period. Absolutely. Annie says, yes, Judy, she saw the second part today. It was very interesting and very sad. I didn't see any bad comments anyway, but I'm watching StreamYard chat, so I'm not watching the YouTube chat, so I'm not sure it would show up here. I don't mind a little cursing. We're all adults here. Just be kind. Yeah. Don't try and make up rumors and make up shit that's going to be talked about. We don't want that, but yeah. Eva Law says, me too, Autumn. I'm a give me a hotel with room service, not tents. Autumn says, I'm fine with roughing it, but I need my own space. I couldn't. Absolutely. Autumn says, I'm fine with roughing it, but I don't like being cooped up, especially with other people. Yeah, oh yeah, I hear you there. Curious says, I'm a good girl most of the time. Of course, honey. Kimberly says, I don't camp, I glamp when I take my camper out for a weekend. Hi, Sankat, welcome. Great to see you again. Sankat, the other night there was a few people that said that I was on too late for them to come and join in, some of my subs. So I decided to go on a bit earlier today. I basically got up at lunchtime today because I worked last night till 10 and then got straight on. So I haven't managed to actually fully get any updates, but I don't think there's that many, to be honest. Yeah, so I'm going to just go offline for a minute just to put the coffee pot on. So I'm wearing pajamas on the bottom and I don't want you to see that. So I'm going to go off just for a second. So just wait there. Or is it still showing? It's still showing. Oh, for goodness sake. I'm making a coffee, guys. Everyone needs their coffee. Nice PJs. I know, right, Autumn? That's what I said. Oh my God, it's still showing. That's so funny. I was trying to figure out just to like get myself off screen, just so you wouldn't see my pajamas. But oh well. Little Pookie, it's 9 p.m. Wednesday night in the eastern side of the US. Yes, so it's not too late. It's good. Little Autumn Falls, I probably would have come on for the 11 p.m. one now, anyhow, but I had to be up at 6 the next day. Ugh, 6. Sandcat, have a coffee with me. Absolutely. Everyone needs. Eva Law says, poor NZM, you look fine. Yeah. Judy, it still showed you in your jammies. Yes, I know. At least I wasn't naked, Autumn Fools. I know. Technicalities or technical stuff isn't always my forte, I must say. But that's okay. I got jammies on, so it's all G. So, is it Thursday there in New Zealand? What day is it? Yes, it's Thursday. It is Thursday at 2:11 p.m. So let's talk about Cassie again for a minute and a couple of things that she said. She said that she's feels like she's on a boat being thrown under the bus. Her parents don't talk to her anymore. If that's true, that's really, really sad. So, I wonder if that's true. I find it hard to know what she's saying is true and what's not. Judy says my grandchildren posted me in my PJs on TikTok. That's funny. Yes. Life is going on. It surely is. Time zones are real weird. What I found really hard is like when I interviewed John Lorden, I had to make it a time that was good for him. So I think like 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. where he is was 10 in the morning where I am. So I had to do an interview at 10 in the morning. And I'm not a morning person, and 10's still early for me. Yeah. So time zones can be a pain in the ass. Especially if you've got international subs. I have a lot of American subs and international subs and then Kiwis. So trying to find a time that balances the both is really hard. Autumn says, where can I find her comments? I haven't read or watched it in full. So I haven't, if to watch it in full, because she went onto Good Morning America. If you're on Twitter, Brian Enton has the interview when she went outside. I'm on abcnews.go.com here, and there was a few things that we read out in the beginning here that Cassie said in those interviews. Judy says, it's weird, we are in your future. I know, but we don't know the lot of numbers. I couldn't understand the context with Cassie thinking she had been thrown under the bus. What did she mean? Is it because the media are after her and her parents are not speaking? Yeah. I think because the media are outside her house with their bullhorns and all that shit, and her parents are not speaking to her, that seems a bit strange. Systems or Sandkid, I think it's because he said she was at the campground. And what did their lawyer do? And what did her lawyer do? So we've had a couple of comments from the lawyer. I'm just going to find those for you. So when she came out and she did answered those questions on her front lawn, there was a statement released by the attorney. I'm just going to see if I can find it here for you guys. So just give me a moment. And then the attorney has actually spoken again, and I've got that as well. Okay, so listen to this, guys. This was in response to Cassie being on the front lawn. Oh, no, it's not. Hang on. It's something else. Sorry, guys. I'm nearly there. I know. Okay. So let's see. After she was outside on the lawn talking to the reporters, Mr. Bertolino texted, "I do not represent Cassie Laundrie. Cassie's comments can only be attributed to the press twisting my words and hers, which were only given to clarify prior mischaracterizations by the press with the hopes of further sensationalizing this tragic story." So that's the statement that the lawyer made after she had come out onto the lawn. Now, he's made another statement as well, which I will find for you. And these are on Brian Enton's Twitter page. So this was a new one, and we just talked about this earlier, about the Mustang and what day it was missing and what day Brian left. Laundry attorney Mr. Bertolino says Brian left for the hike on Monday, September the 13th, not Tuesday, September the 14th, like his parents originally said. Full Bertolino statement, he said the Laundries were basing the date Brian left on their recollection of certain events. Upon further communication with the FBI and confirmation of the Mustang being at the Laundrie residence on Wednesday, September the 15th, we now believe the day Brian left to hike in the preserve was Monday, September the 13th. Okay. So just checking if there was anything else. You know what? It feels like to me with this attorney that he likes really big words. So when he puts out a statement to make it sound better, he puts really big words in it. Okay, so the last statement from the attorney. This was today, about an hour or so ago. Chris Laundrie was asked to assist law enforcement in their search for Brian at the preserve today, since the preserve has been closed to the public. Chris has not been able to look for Brian in the only place Chris and Roberta believe Brian may be. Unfortunately, Northport Police had to postpone Chris's involvement, but Chris and Roberta are hopeful there will be another opportunity to assist. Very interesting. So is the reason that his parents not being searching for him, is that because it's been closed and the police have said they're not allowed to until now they've asked? Yeah, very, very interesting. Sandcat, is it normal to protest on neighbours' lawns, or is it? Because people are home during lockdowns would not see this in New Zealand. No, we wouldn't. I think it's getting things done, though. Maybe New Zealand should do this too. Well, we certainly have cases here that where families shut down and don't speak, for sure. The transcripts for her GMA interview are available. If you can find them and email them to me, that would be really awesome at nzmissing@gmail.com. Judy says she seemed too calm and in control. She desperately is trying to cover her butt. I think she's scared, and I think she's nervous, which I would be as well. I think she's scared she's going to say something wrong because the FBI have told her heaps of stuff that she's not allowed to say. Yeah. I think, although I don't know whether I believe her. I don't know. But I don't want people outside her house protesting and scaring her babies. I don't want that. Kimberly said, Sandcat, it reminds me of the Drew Peterson case. People in media stayed outside his home. But how long can they keep going? I mean, don't they have jobs to go to, or these protesters? I mean, you can't just sit outside the laundries forever. Sandcat, yes, no, yes, no. Yes, no, should do this more often. It would solve a problem with councils. I'm not sure what you're referring to. I don't know. I must have missed something. Autumn says, I can't say what she's like. People all react differently under pressure. Exactly. I think she was probably to some degree nervous and afraid to say something wrong. And I think she's a mum that's scared for her kids, that has to put up with this information. If it's true that her family aren't talking to her, that's absolutely awful. Because she says they're not a close family anyway, but they're close enough to go and have s'mores at the campsite. So who knows? Who knows? Kimberly, Judy, have you seen her shed a tear for Gabby or her brother? I haven't. I'm going to say, Kimberly, though, in New Zealand, we don't expect families of missing people or cases, any unsolved cases. We don't expect families in New Zealand to come onto the media and talk. We don't expect that of them. We leave them to get through it in private. And unless I know, like with my stories that I do, that if the family are going to media and asking for help, well, then I find that, okay, well, then I'll do a video about this case. Some families, and a lot of families in New Zealand, just deal with things privately. And Jamie Gray said, I wouldn't cry in public either. No, neither would I. I would not cry in public. I'm not a crier. Even when things are really, really bad, I'm not a crier. So I don't think we can put any emphasis on the fact that she wasn't crying or that she wasn't upset. Is the point that I'm trying to get at. Jamie says, think she is the family scapegoat. Scapegoats always have weird body language because everything is always made their fault. Kimberly says, I fear the Lord and love him too. No way I could cover for my family. Kimberly M, at this point, no matter what she says, she will be dealt with harshly because of Brian, little Pookie. Yeah. You know, if Brian's got access to the internet, he is going to know how much shit is going down for his sister and his parents, what he is putting them through. Although the laundries, it could be said that they're putting themselves through this because they won't talk to law enforcement. But is he okay with what's going on, you know, with his family at the moment? If I were Cassie, I would try my best not to cry emotional because I hate being emotional in public. So I might appear cold or something. Yeah, I often appear cold. TJ, that was a flippant comment because we have protested here in Oamaru about Drugs Council, our hospitals. Yeah. I didn't mean about other things like that, Judy. I was sort of meaning about when someone goes missing in New Zealand or is killed in New Zealand, we don't see protests around their families for that sort of thing. Okay. Annie says, interesting with the new date of the phone purchase on the 4th, just 2 days before the camp trip. Right. Thanks for that, Annie. I didn't know about that. Autumn says, if I were Cassie, I would try my best to not cry. Oh, sorry. We've read that, haven't we? Get it together. Curious says, I don't think anyone outside of the parents would be willing to help Ryan. Some family members maybe might be willing if like they were close to the laundries or something, but I definitely don't think his lawyer is, and I don't think Cassie is. Little Pookie says Brian could save time and money by facing it. Well, I mean, look how much he's costing. I mean, the resources and the money that they're putting into finding this guy, unreal. Curious, you've emailed me the link to the transcripts. Awesome, I'll have a look in a minute. Sorry if I don't grab all your comments. Annie, the lawyer said the other day by text that the original 14th phone purchase date was a typo. Oh, so it's supposed to be the 4th, not the 14th. Interesting. I'm just going to look in my email, guys, and see if I was able to get this transcript from Curious Kiwi. So just give me a minute. I'm sorry if you don't like vaping, but I'm a vapor. So that's the way it is. Okay. Curious, I'm in my email, which is nzmissing@gmail.com, and I don't see anything. No new emails. Everlaw, I have a feeling once Cassie went back into their home, she probably broke down and cried for fear of not being sure how she'd been taken, and simple nervousness walking out to the megaphoners. Yeah, possibly. Welcome back, Autumn. I'm glad you have plugged your laptop in. The police must be pretty sure Brian is a killer, otherwise they wouldn't go to all this effort. Yeah. Well, I think so. I think you might be right there because are they going to put this much effort into someone who is just charged with credit card fraud, which is what I think something around what he's doing or what he's been charged with so far. I'm not sure of the correct charge, but it's to do with Eddie's. And do they normally put this amount of work into just a general missing person? Don't know. Kimberly said there's something up with the Carlton Reserve. I wonder if his phone was thrown in the water. Yeah, so we said earlier that there had been increased police activity today at the Carlton Reserve. There's some pictures on Brian Ensign's Twitter of them throwing a drone up and going over a new part of Carlton Reserve than they had. but then I heard that they'd died down the search again. So whether they got some new information, we don't know. Kimberly said she meant his older phone, not the new one. Well, so as far as I'm aware, police don't have his phone. Like do they have Gabby's? I don't know. If someone can answer that, I'm not sure. And then they bought the burner phone, and then he left it, and the police got that one. That's what I'm picking up, which is just weird. But then Cassie said when she was out on the lawn that she's tried to get hold of him. She's tried ringing, but his phone just goes to voicemail. Does that mean he's turned his phone off and got rid of it? Or does that mean he's still got his phone? That's why she's trying to call. But surely if he still had his phone, then they'd be tracking it. So that doesn't make sense. When they did those survival shows, it proved most people can't make it long roughing it. Yeah, but so first I heard that he's a survivalist, and he survived on the Appalachian Trail for months at a time, so he knows what he's doing. That's what I first heard. And then when Cassie came out on the lawn, she said that she would call him a mediocre survivalist, and that he'd only managed to survive like a week at a time. So was it a couple of months that he can survive and he's a great survivalist, or was it mediocre like Cassie said, and he can only do it for so curious. I went and had a look, and it says that the file you've requested does not exist. I wonder where Gabby's iWatch is. Yeah, well, we don't know if they have it or not. I mean, the feds just aren't going to tell us shit. Okay, I don't have the dates for the timeline in front of me, but he did fly back to Florida to go through the storage locker that his parents had, or he had, and helped his parents remove stuff. I've seen that maybe they were getting rid of it, and he had to get his and Gabby's stuff out and put it in the shed. I've also, thank you, Curious, 17th to the 23rd. But I've also heard that people think that he may have had stuff in there that didn't make him look good. That's why he flew back to do that. When Cassie was asked on her lawn whether she knew of her parents having a locker or storage locker, she admitted that yes, they do. I think it feels weird that Brian would fly home for a couple of days just to empty shit out of a storage locker. I don't know. Sounds weird to me. Little Pookie, when he was stopped in Moab, Utah, he did not sound very confident. Autumn says, wasn't there a case that John covered where a woman's murder was evident by the spikes in heart rate on her fitness tracker or smartwatch? Her watch could have interesting data. Yes, I think I remember a case like that. That's for sure. But we don't know whether it was on her or whether the police have it, or whether her family have it. I've also seen that her family have been fighting to get Gabby's stuff back from the laundry's house, and even the FBI haven't been able to help them with that, and I think that's a bit of a shame, to be honest. I've got another screen that I'm looking at, guys, so just bear with me. We covered a lot the other night too. In New Zealand, it is believed that you are innocent till proven guilty, and I understand that. I just think that Brian running and the parents not cooperating does not make it look good. Yeah. Evalaw, I think Cassie or the lawyer said he flew back because they wanted to free up money to travel a bit longer. Okay, I haven't heard that. Thank you, Evalaw. There's so much information out there and rumours, but this case is a lot different to the Summer Wells case. I believe in this case that most people are going off fact and evidence and getting their information that way, which is really, really good. And I think that's because every day we get a little bit of information, even though the feds are holding lots back, we do get little droplets of information every day. So I think that's why this one's a bit different. Annie Hall, I just watched Brian Enton's latest report just about the search, and Chris Laundrie asked to search tomorrow, maybe. Oh, so tomorrow we may see his dad, Brian, searching tomorrow. That would be very interesting. And I wonder how everyone's going to feel about that. Interesting. Kimberly, y'all, I have to get back to packing. I will check back later to see if you're still having a discussion. Good to see you. Yes, it was good to have you here, Kimberly. Thanks so much, love. Why would they ask him to assist? Maybe in case they find the dad could try to coax him out. Good point. What do you think about this? Why are they asking him to assist? Have they found something that they need the dad to clarify or something like that? I find it kind of weird. And after all this time, and yeah, I don't know. Quickly though, can I ask, if you watch this, please give the video a like, subscribe to my channel, and if you can shout me a $3 coffee, go to buymeacoffee.com/NZ Mysteries. I appreciate it. Keeps my lights on and my computer going. Yeah, so I find that very odd that they've asked him to help search. I actually don't know what to make of it at all, to be honest. Autumn Falls says maybe to put pressure on him. Maybe. Little Pookie says it can only be guessed what or why they emptied the storage unit. Cassie doesn't know and no one else is talking. You're absolutely right. We do not know what was in that storage unit or why he flew back to help. Curious Kiwi says, I've heard that too, but it doesn't make sense. By the time they paid for flights, a hotel for Gabby, apparently a storage locker, is only around $80 per month. Yeah. Don't know. Evalaw says, I agree, it seemed an odd statement to make. It is an odd statement to make, actually. I wonder. Brian Enton said he has reached out to the FBI, but they probably are not going to comment on why they're asking him to search, because a lot of people are going, hang on, it's just weird. It is weird. Why are they announcing it? I don't know. It just doesn't, it's weird. It's the only name I have for it. It's weird. Autumn Falls, the flight back for Brian is odd unless Brian lied about why he needed to go home quickly. Jamie says, I think to get dad away from mum and see if they can get him to make something slip. Possibly. I mean, because we don't know why they've asked him to assist, we could be any reason, and we just don't know. That very, very interesting. The lawyer said he came back to sort storage unit out so they could save money and stay on trip longer. I didn't see that, but if that's true, then that's just weird, like I say, because why would you spend all that money on flights? Someone's already said this before. Why would they spend money on flights? Why would they put Gabby into a hotel? Because that's not saving money, just to get rid of the storage locker. It doesn't sound right. And why couldn't his dad empty it? It doesn't look like a big storage locker. So it's not like a huge thing, the big storage container. It's not. It's just a locker. So why did his family need his help to empty the locker? Couldn't they do it by himself? Why'd they have to get him to fly home while they're on a travel to help him? It just doesn't sit right. Don't know. So it'll be interesting tomorrow whether we see him out there searching for his son. Finally, I think that we've all said that we think his parents are acting oddly after having a son missing. We think that they shouldn't be just gardening out there. They should be looking for their son and doing everything they can. And we've been down on them for not doing that. So is this why they haven't been able to go and search, though? Because the FBI has told them that they're not allowed to, and finally now they've asked them to help. Is that why the parents haven't been able to help? And he says, yeah, this lawyer seems to answer any reporter that texts him questions. Even the ex-FBI agent can't believe how he's acting. She said he's not experienced in what he's doing. Because we've heard he's a real estate lawyer, and because it's very odd, apparently, for him to text back every reporter texts him, and he seems to personally send a text back. It's not like a general text or a general statement out to the public all at the same time. The lawyer's like texting back to different reporters and answering them, which is really, really weird. We've never seen that done before. So it's interesting. I know that there is a ex-FBI agent looking at the story, and if she thinks it's weird, then maybe it is weird. Yeah, Pookie, I have to say I didn't really like that one comment made. What's this one? Little Pookie. I thought it was sad that Gabby's dad said he had never called any of her boyfriends by their names. Oh. He always feminized the names and called Brian Brienne. Well, that's a bit mean, but I don't think that's detrimental to him. Sandcat sounds like a spur of the moment made up story. Sorry if I missed your comments, guys. And I've got to say, I think there's only 10 of you in here, and I'm absolutely fine with that, because you go to some channels and there's so many thousands of people on there that you can't have a discussion. You can't ask questions to the host because it's just too busy. So I really like the little intimate thing that we've got going here, where we could have a discussion, a nice, calm discussion about it. I find this really good, really lovely. Sandcat says nothing could stop me searching for my son. Me either. So, okay, maybe they're not able to search the preserve. Maybe Carlton Reserve was off limits and they don't want to go and look where dogs looking at that. But if they were scared for their missing son, wouldn't they be putting flyers up somewhere at least saying, help us find my son, he's missing, he could be on the Appalachian Trail or something like that. I know if I couldn't go to a certain place to search for my kids, I still would be doing everything I could. And also, I think we touched on this the other night, why hasn't the FBI put out a description of Brian, a proper description of him and what he may look like with a hat on and with hair and stuff like that, or with his shaved face? It seems very weird for a missing person, even a wanted person, even though he's only wanted on that charge with Gabby's money. Why aren't they releasing a description? I think it's a bit weird. Autumn says, if I were a murder suspect, I would want a criminal lawyer. Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? But it sounds like he may have been their lawyer for other things, because he was pretty quick to come onto the scene. So maybe they thought, oh, a lawyer is a lawyer. He's our lawyer. We know him. Yeah. My dad always made me feel bad with such remarks of disapproval. Yeah, it's not a nice thing. It can be classed as bullying and stuff. So it's not. Yeah. They got to know he wants to hide. Is he on the wanted list? I don't know what list you're referring to, little Pookie, but I know that he's wanted for a charge of using her debit card or credit card and getting money from it. I'm not sure what the full charge sounds like or how it's worded. I can't remember. Is there an official wanted list over there? I don't know if he's on it. Give me 1 second, guys. I had to get some lip balm. I'm talking so much. I had to go through my work bag. Little Pookie says the FBI has a wanted list. I don't think he would be on the 10 most wanted. I don't know if they would put him on the wanted list full stop because he's technically missing. I'm not sure. Autumn, do we know anything about Gabby's autopsy? No, they're keeping that completely under wraps. All we know is that the manner of death was homicide, but we don't know the cause of death. We don't know why we're not hearing about it, like, why aren't they releasing it? Are they releasing it because the body was too decomposed for them to find out a cause of death and they don't know? Are they holding it for the integrity of the case? You know what I mean? Protect the integrity of the case, but we know nothing about what happened. I don't know if her parents know. And actually, last time I heard that her body was still with the medical examiner, that the laundries didn't have it back. I'm not sure. But they did have a funeral, didn't they? So maybe they did. I don't know. Let me know if you know. Little Pookie says right now he has a credit card charge. Right. So I don't know if they're going to put him on like a wanted list for a small charge like that. But he's wanted in connection with Gabby's, or to talk to, like a person of interest in Gabby's case, from what I know. Yeah. it would be interesting to see whether his dad goes and looks for him. And then, probably the social media is going to blow up if that happens, and they're going to try and read into that as well. Why is he helping to look for his son now? Why do they want him to come and look? Have they found something? It's going to be a whole new thing. Seeing Cat said the FBI won't release anything until Brian goes to trial. Yeah. Well, we know that they keep a lot of information away from the public for sure. They don't let anyone know what they're doing. The body was still in Utah when the Petitos had the memorial. Yeah, but have they had just a memorial, or have they had an actual funeral? Does anyone know? Because last time I heard that, the body was still in Utah, but I'm not sure if the family have her back. So sad. Little Pookie, the Petito families have created a foundation to help others. They surely have. The Gabby Petito Foundation. I'm not sure a lot about it. If you want me to put in the link, just let me know and I will. Autumn Fool says, I guess I'm used to cold type cases where they end up releasing more info to try and further the case. For sure. Little Pookie said a funeral / memorial service, no interment of the body. What does that mean, Little Pookie? No interment of the body. What does that mean? Everlaw says, I don't know why they are still holding on to Gabby's body. Surely all samples would be extracted by now. You'd think so, and not being crude, but how long is a body going to last? Before it needs to be buried, because it's going to decay and stuff, isn't it? Just saying. And he said the parents said that they, maybe the coroners and the rescuers, recognised her by her favourite sweatshirt she was wearing. Oh, that's sad. Which maybe it means it happened in the evening rather than a hot afternoon. Maybe. Little Pookie, no burial, interment. Absolutely. Thank you, Little Pookie. So maybe they don't have the body back and they were just having a memorial / funeral without her body, which is what I thought. But it does seem a very long time to keep a body and not release it to the family, I think. Anyway, thanks for that, Little Pookie, for clarifying that. They would have it in a cold locker, but that aside, they normally don't hold onto a body that long, even if it's the FBI. I should have thought of a cold locker. I'm not quite sure why I did not, because I'm a dick, but that's okay. But even in a cold locker, but yeah, you're right that it's definitely not like anyone or any law enforcement or coroner's office to keep a body that long. Just saying. The family had implied she was cremated, yet after the memorial they said they didn't have her body back. Right. Well, I didn't hear them imply she was cremated, but yeah. Embalming is possible too, says Little Pookie. Yeah, that's right. I did reach out to another creator today, or reached out to another creator that I'm not going to mention right now. Why not, actually? Justice podcast. I listen sometimes when she's on, and I have asked her if I have permission to use some of her footage at some stage if I want to, and she said yes. So that's always good, of course, as long as I credit her channel with it, which is, of course, right. But I just don't know how well, because my computer's really crap. I just don't know how well I could, how I could do that. They had a cremation/remains box at the memorial, but it was empty. Oh, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Very, very weird. Autumn says, I kind of hope the family doesn't know the details of how she died. That would be so hard. It would be really hard, but I think if I was a family member like that, I would actually want to know. Even though it would be really hard to hear. I would want to know. If she was cremated, a family member would fly out and retrieve the remains and fly back with them. Okay. Annie says, Autumn Falls, they said on the Dr. Phil show they don't know how she died yet. So they're actually keeping the information of how she died from her family as well as the rest of us. Very interesting, because I thought that usually they'd give the family some information at least, but it appears not. Very strange. Curious says, I don't know how I remember details on these cases when I can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. You were so right. I walk into different rooms and forget what I'm doing. I know on here a few times I've started rambling on about a point and then I forgot the point I was trying to make. Yeah, so I don't know. It's crazy. Everlaw says, I think the stepdad, Jim, who was out there, may have seen her body. I hope not. That would be awful for him. Autumn, I'll have to watch the Dr. Phil episode. Yeah, I might try and track it down later and have a look at it as well. It sounds very, very sad. Yeah, family couldn't say anything. They just said they were told it was a homicide. So whether they have been told how she died or whether not, we don't know. But I think if I was a family member, if I was, in that situation, I think that I would want to know all the details, even when they were really, really bad. I'd still rather know. That's just me. Annie says, I don't think he saw his body, just saw the body, just the spot where they found her. Evalor, stepdad is trained in that regard, firefighter, etc. They needed someone to confirm it was Gabby. Well, that may be true. I don't know. I never seen anything about this, so I can't confirm. But Autumn says that's true. They would need a family member to confirm identity. Did they confirm her identity by someone coming to confirm it, or did they confirm her identity by the tattoos on her or something like that? Little Pookie says Gabby had a tattoo that said "Let It Be," and the parents actually got matching tattoos of, not matching ones, but they had tattoos of "Let It Be," which is really, really nice, different ones. That's very nice. I get messed up too, guys. Especially not being from the States. There is a lot of states in this case. And it's hard for us Kiwis because, we have rules in New Zealand and laws, and that's for the whole of New Zealand. You know what I'm saying? In America, there's like 50 states, and they all have their own laws and ways that they do things. So it makes it that much harder. Annie Hall said, stepdad said he told them which way her head was laying, etc., and that's why he laid the flowers where he did. Oh, it's just sad any way you look at it, isn't it? For some reason, I felt like I would get up today and turn on the YouTube and find out that he'd been caught, but that didn't happen. Yeah. Bugger. Traffic stop was in Utah. Yes, it was, outside of the Moonflower Co-op, and the death was in Wyoming at the Teton or National Park, I think it was. He really is commendable and everything he did, a truly great stepdad to Gabby. Well, it's been amazing, actually, that both sets of parents have actually been able to act like adults and get along and all want the same thing and work together for justice for Gabby. I think it's an amazing thing, and I think that those families could teach some YouTubers some skills and some manners. I definitely think that YouTubers have been some YouTubers have been behaving appalling in any case, and I think these parents really could show them a thing or two about how to act like adults and behave. Yeah, and the stones that were laid as well. Yeah. Little Pookie says, right, Teton National Park. Yeah. Yes, NZM for sure. Each one of them had their role covering all bases. Yeah, absolutely. And he says, sorry, I meant they told him, the stepdad, how she was lying. He didn't see her himself. Got ya. Don't be sorry. It's all good. No problemo. The parents coming together was a good thing. Their common ground was their child, right? It was a really good thing. And they have done it with such grace. And I think that definitely they could teach people a few things. They have come together for justice for Gabby. Yeah, very, very sad. Very, very sad. I'm just checking things. I mean, what time is it over there, guys? Because I don't think we're going to get much more information at this stage. Surely, like, reporters have gone home and gone to bed by now. So I don't think we're going to get any new information today. Autumn Falls says, still listening, but I'm doing dishes, so I won't talk much. That's all right, hon. We're still here. Evalor, sorry. There is still another girl missing up there in that park. I forget the details on her. Just needing to ensure it was Gabby, I think. That's so sad. A lot of disappearances in national parks over there, that's for sure. Missing Persons and Mysteries is a channel that I follow, and they do a lot of coverage about missing people in national parks in the US, and it's very, very interesting stuff. So check that out if you're into that sort of thing. Little Pookie says their behaviour has been honourable. They have enough to handle. It has been honourable. It really has. 10 p.m. where you are. Eva Law says it's 10:04 in Florida, October the 6th. So we're at 3 p.m. on the 7th in New Zealand. Annie and Sweet Heather all moved in together, at least for now, and that was always Gabby's wish. Oh, I didn't realize they'd all moved in together. That's pretty crazy. Weird. I don't know if most exes and stuff would move in together, but yeah, yay if they've done that. That's very, very honourable, very respectful. Evalor should change that. Calling me is just fine, Ev. Cool. Don't change your name just because I have moments when I can't speak. It's not your fault. It's my fault. So don't worry about changing. You know, I'm not used to talking this long. I don't normally do lives, and I don't normally talk this long. And I'm not always the brightest bulb, so don't worry about it. Annie Hall says, so they could grieve away from everyone and help each other. Wow. That's really amazing that they can do that, because I don't know many families that could, even if they were on civil terms for, you know, the children involved and stuff like that. That's something, yeah, that not many people would be able to do. Not many families would be able to do. And I understand if it's for them to grieve. Annie, and for the children to be together. That's so lovely. That's amazing. Amazing people. Little Pookie, they are saying the cases are not connected, but there were 2 women killed in Moab during the time Brian was in the area. Yes, they are definitely saying that, but I am pretty sure that it's been proven that they're not connected with that. But it is interesting how there's no murders in that part of the country for years and years and years, and then all within like a week or two, there's a couple, and it does seem like coincidental, but apparently it's been debunked. And he says, I guess they've all been divorced for years and years. So maybe, yeah, because it's been so long, maybe now it's okay for them to be in the same house. I think it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm not a fan of Dr. Phil. I don't know why. I'm just not a fan, but I am going to try and watch it. Little Pookie, what if the woman worked in the restaurant where Brian and Gabby were the day of the traffic stop? Yes, definitely. We heard that. But like I say, if I remember correctly, it was sort of proven that it wasn't Brian. Annie says it was really interesting but sad. Grab your tissues for the second part, and that's referring to the Dr. Phil show. So if I watch it, I'll make sure I've got my tissues nearby as well, because I can definitely get emotional sometimes. I know what you mean about Dr. Phil, but apparently he's been helping them loads behind the scenes. Oh, that's really nice of him. I mean, even if I'm not a fan, you know, we all don't have to be fans of everyone. I don't have many fans. But yeah, I don't know, just something about him that's never really, well, I found him that great. But if he's obviously got them on the show and he's doing loads behind the scenes, then that's really admirable, a really nice thing to do. So both Little Pookie and Curious Kiwi says they're not Dr. Phil fans. At least I'm not the only one that's not a fan. I feel better about it. But we'll watch for Gabby. Absolutely, I'll watch for Gabby too. I'll watch any interview or any creator stuff. I can be objective. If they've got information that I want to know about, then I'll go and watch another channel or a Dr. Phil so I can get all the information. Annie, you see these spots where she was lying, but you've probably seen the pic already, the stone cross. I actually haven't seen that picture, to be honest. I kind of like to think I'm up to date with most of it, but apparently not. So very, very sad. It looked like it was out in the open too, where she was found. Imagine if those Red, White, and Bethune hadn't been in their bus driving down that road, didn't have the dash cam on, and actually the driver, the dad, the husband from Red, White, and Bethune, saying that he actually was supposed to put the dash cam off. He didn't realize it had still been going when it took pictures of the van. And couldn't believe about the campfire ring. I can't comment on that because I actually haven't heard about that, so I'm not right. I don't know. Annie, a little Pookie, I have not seen the pic either. No. Let me have a look, eh? Stone. Just Googling. Oh, okay. I think I might see it. Let me have a look, guys. So there it is. That's so gorgeous. Very, very sad. Very sad. We don't see a campfire ring necessarily in this. But yeah, it says Gabby Petito's stepfather lays a stone cross at spot the place her stays have been covered. That's a bit weird thing to say. I don't understand that. What a beautiful area though. Very, very sad. Annie, so they must have been camping that evening and something went very wrong. I'm pretty sure that coincided with the day that they were at a restaurant and Brian was making an ass out of himself in a restaurant. And Gabby went in and apologised for him. Curious, I've seen that photo. There's another cross by where the van was that was done by somebody else. Oh, okay. Maybe they set up camp there, lit a fire, and then something happened. Possibly. Stepfather said he saw firing. Okay. Then the one with the flowers is his. So this one here. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Poor guy. I think a member of the public did another one. Little Pookie said, did you see where they say Brian was in the clearing during the Red, White, Bethune drive-by? So in the Bethune footage, and a lot of YouTubers were looking at this footage and trying to decipher what was going on. A lot of YouTubers thought that to the left in a paddock type of thing, a paddock or bit of wilderness, out to the left as they were driving past. They could see someone digging. Some people say yes, that's what they saw. Other people said it was actually a tree stump in the end. And then we have a lot of people who have said that the door could be seen closing on the back of the van as they pulled up. So yeah, we've had a few things. And also we had a guy on last night, Jeff, and he said that he's seen movement in the van from that footage as well. Annie Hall says, yes, the 27th. Slow Motion from Ireland, welcome. Great to have you here. Come on in and say hello and have a chat. Tell us what you think. So Evalor says, yes, and that was the same day the video of the van was taken. I wonder if after what happened, he snapped and then blacked out for the next 2 days when he was picked up in Coulter Bay. I'm not knowing about this Coulter Bay thing, but yeah, so the last day it was proven that Gabby was alive was the 27th, and that was the day that this ruckus happened in the what's the word? In the restaurant, that's the word. Welcome, hon. The flowers where her head was laying. Oh, that's sad. That's sad. Little Pookie Gonzo was there. Okay, who is Gonzo? Please tell me who Gonzo is. All I know is Gonzo was someone on the Muppets or was a Muppet. Not saying that this person is a Muppet. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I don't know who Gonzo is. I've heard the name though. So if you can tell me who this guy is, let me know. Just because I don't know. Hey, Ireland. Evalor, because on the 29th, he was talking to the people who gave him a ride of Gabby as though she was still alive. Okay, so are you referring to the people that said he hitchhiked with them? Pookie says, yes, Gonzo said it was a tree stump, no human, no Brian. Yeah, a few people have said that it was not a human, that it was just a trick of the eye and that it was actually a tree stump. Curious, one of the people that picked him up and said he was clean shaven and didn't smell, they think he hitchhiked to have a shower and get cleaned up. Possibly. Slow Motion says, do not Google Gonzo. Real Gone Gonzo on YouTube, not a YouTuber, but has a channel. Okay, thank you. Evalor. Yes, the hitchhiking. So I wonder if his mind blanked out for those next 2 days if she did die on the 27th. Possibly. Real Gone Gonzo goes and helps in searches. Oh, nice. That's awesome. And he says, I think one of the reasons he hitchhiked was to form some sort of alibi, saying his fiancée was in the van working on a website, etc. Very possible. That is very possible. Wasn't he also seen in like a bar having a drink or something? I'm not sure when or what day that was. Yeah. Autumn, yes, that's the first thing I heard when I heard that name Gonzo was the Muppets. But no, apparently there's this guy Gonzo who is very, very respected from what I've heard, and he helps with facts, no speculation, really good guy. Thank you, Evalor. So that's what I've heard about him too. I just didn't exactly know who he was, but I've heard that he's doing amazing things. So, yeah. Autumn Falls, did the cat jump on your computer right now? Is that the cat? Or I was right. Autumn Falls said, "Dag, that was my cat." Knew it had to be a cat. I know what trouble they get in. Very respected man. Yes, absolutely. Anyhow, yeah, no one's ever confirmed that bar sighting, so not sure about that one, but who knows? Possible. Yeah, so many incidents or pieces of information in this case are hashed out so many times by different YouTubers and different channels and reporters, but I haven't seen a lot of attention given to this bar sighting. I've never been able to find out whether this bar sighting was correct and what happened. So, yeah. Autumn Falls said, yes, it was her cat. She loves the keyboard laptop. She wants her attention. That's funny. Slow motion, wrong gonzo, apologies. Right. That's fine. Don't apologize. It's cool. But yes, apparently he's been instrumental in helping the searches and other information, and I've heard nothing but good things about him. Autumn Falls, at least you have a reason. I'm not sure if keyboard doesn't catch or if it's me. We all have that problem. Annie Hall says, the thing is, Gabby said they both didn't drink, so would he be in the bar? Interesting. Yes, I remember actually in that body cam footage, Gabby did say that they both didn't drink. So would he be in a bar? Very interesting point. Very interesting. Anyhow, he might be drinking though after what he did. Well, yeah, true that. Slow motion, are we any closer to the truth? You know what? I don't think we are any closer to the truth, unfortunately. We get these little tidbits of information that we've gone across over a few little tidbits that have come through today, but no, I don't think we are any closer, which is really, really sad. Little Pookie said, only if he wanted a witness to his whereabouts, an alibi. That could be a possibility. Perhaps he didn't give a shit about not drinking, or maybe him and Gabby just didn't drink together and he felt like a drink after what had happened. And, yeah, he went to a bar and got seen. We don't know. Little Pookie says, Brian does like to drink from a glass, not plastic. Yeah, because he's a save the world guy, isn't he? Yeah, well, he's not so great at doing that. Ernie says he wasn't counting on someone with a dash cam filming the van position on the day anyone last saw her live, though. Oh, he wasn't counting on someone with a dash cam. I think that if that hadn't have happened, they might not have found Gabby for a long time. And I don't think that he counted on the way this has blown up in the media. I don't think he thought that was going to happen either. So it makes me wonder when they went to the Fort DeSoto on the 6th, because they were obviously going there to make plans for what's going to happen with Brian and where is he going to go and how he's going to live and get money and blah, blah, blah. How they thought this was going to end in the long run. Did they think go out for a month or a couple of weeks and come back soon, everything would have died down? And they just didn't think it was going to take off as much as it did. And that people would be watching his family as much as they're doing and scrutinizing them. Curious Kiwi says, Little Pookie, yeah, but did you see him saving a plastic bottle out of a creek, then threw it in the bush? No, I did not see that. So he wants to save the planet, but he wants to throw plastic in a bush? I did not see that. Funny. Autumn, I really don't think Brian or his family is thinking about the ending. All his actions seem like reactions to events not at all planned. Absolutely, I believe that too. I mean, I think they had that meeting at the campsite away from the house that could be bugged so they could get everything sorted, where he's going to go, what are they going to do, and it was quite quick. I believe that. Annie says, yeah, maybe he was going to hide out, see what happens, and then come out if they didn't find her body. Yeah, I reckon something like that. But unfortunately, those Bethunes, they found the camp, the truck, and that's how they found Gabby, and he's in trouble. Jamie says, is Brian's mother a former government lawyer? Okay, so there's been a lot of stuff around this. I think it is correct that she worked as an assistant or something, or in the DA's office. That's what I heard. Now, they own a juice company, not like drinking juice makers, or selling things that make juice or some shit like that, and they have like rental properties and stuff. I think that's what I've heard. That's interesting though. If they do have other properties, could he be hiding in one of those? Annie says, I don't think he went missing on the 13th. I reckon after the camp trip. Okay, so the camping trip at Fort DeSoto was on the 6th. And if we're correct, Annie, that Brian hasn't been seen, has he? So there's a great possibility that he may have gone after the camp trip, if no one's reported seeing him after that, which means he's had a bigger head start to get away. I think you might be onto something. Slow motion, maybe he thought it wouldn't be just a missing 411. Exactly. Who knows? If I think I said that right. Annie, Jamie, I heard she worked in the DA's office. Yeah, so did I. Curious says, I heard that she worked in the DA's office, then I heard it was true, but at this point, who knows? Absolutely, I can't verify the information. I don't know if it's true or whether it's not true. It's hard to find out sometimes what sources are reliable and what sources are not. So I just can't say whether that's true or not. But I don't think she's a lawyer as such. That's why they've got this silly lawyer that's supposedly just a real estate lawyer. Little Pookie says Roberta Laundrie. Start again. Little Pookie says Roberta Laundrie worked in the district attorney's office. Right. So I'm just checking for new info, but like I say, I think that it's very late over in the US, so I don't believe that people will be up releasing new information at this time of the night. All the protesters are probably gone home, and the reporters have gone home and gone to bed, and the searches have winded down. Hang on, I'm trying to get this message. Working the office doesn't mean she has legal knowledge, so that's right. She could have been doing something else. We don't know that. Annie says, do they actually have jobs, or are they retired since they never come out of their house? Right. I mean, we know they own this company, but perhaps they don't physically work there. And if they own it, then they can definitely take time off, I guess. But we haven't heard a lot about it. Curious, she might have been a filing clerk. Yeah, we just don't know. Jamie says, I wonder police were so inept at start as they know her. I don't know. That's something to think about, Jamie. I don't think so, though. Slow motion just throws hands in the air. Exactly. We just don't know. We just do not know. It's all we're still speculating and throwing theories about based on the facts that we do have that we know are real at the moment. Little Pookie says, could be working from home. Many are here. Right. And gardening. We know that they do gardening. Autumn says, I'd say either working from home or taking time off after this drama. Right. So even if you own a business, doesn't mean you physically work there, because you could have other people, other people running the show. And, if they've gone back to work, if they do work and they've gone back to work, people would have made a bloody mess out of it. And then maybe people would have protested outside the work. So maybe, don't know, just throwing shit out there. Kimberly, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Just the small number of us again. I think Slow Motion's joined us, so that's nice. But we're still just talking about nothing, really. But that's okay. We can talk about nothing. Curious says there's a decent sized home office in the house, but the FBI removed a lot of computer gear. I don't know the layout of the house inside whatsoever. I've never seen anything about that, so I can't comment. But I do believe the FBI had a warrant to search for computer, tech items and stuff like that. I'm not sure what's the name I'm looking for. Technical items? That's not it. Computers and stuff. I'm pretty sure the FBI did have a warrant to look at that sort of stuff. But as for the layout of the house, I don't know. I haven't seen inside. I've seen outside when the drone's gone past and caught them doing their gardening, and now there's a hand coming out of the garden apparently. I know when the FBI did their search warrant that they opened up that shed and took some photos of the shed, and they went in there. The thing that was in the pool that day was the pool cleaner. A lot of people thought they saw someone swimming in the pool that day, but it was on the drone day, I think it was. But it was pool cleaner thing. Little Pookie, old wisdom. I've lived just long enough to take a second look at what I was most sure about the first time. See you, Annie. It was good to see you. TJ, I was on my way to the shower 3.5 hours ago and got roped into this live that I didn't know was going to pop up. Yeah, look, I don't have set days for my videos to come out, or set days that I do a live. Normally I don't do lives. But I can feel unwell from one day to another, so I just sort of go on when I think that I'm feeling well enough to do a video or a live. But like I say, I mean, this is not me. This is the second live that I've done that's gone a couple of hours and we've just talked shit, and I've enjoyed it so much that I came back. So that's definitely not a thing that I usually do. Slow motion. I worked as a gardener. Not that easy to bury a body. Yeah, I don't think it's that easy to bury a body, and I surely do not believe that on the drone footage there was a hand poking up through the soil. I'm going to go on record and say I don't believe that. Just saying. I hope they find her computer. Yeah, I actually haven't heard much about that or anything about whether they found her computer or not, because she had one obviously to do all her van life stuff,
Everlaw, oh my gosh, I didn't realize 3 hours had rolled by. I know. And I can't believe that I can talk for this long and hold some people's attention for this long. That surprises the shit out of me, to be honest. Little Pookie says the city would have the layout of the house on city records, right? I've just never seen it. Little Pookie said goodbye to Annie. Yeah, goodbye. It's good to see you. Annie says you keep on doing more lives, so they're great. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate, you guys. I much prefer a small group of people to chat with. Curious, there are photos of the inside of the house, but controversy of if they are from when they bought the house or from when the laundries had it on the market a couple of years ago. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I have to look for that. Everlaw, this has been one of the most logical discussions in the life for weeks. Thank you. I watch a lot of YouTube channels, and there's a lot that goes on in chat. There's a just bullshit between creators and drama. There's people that can't actually behave like adults and have a frank discussion about things. There's a lot of people that don't like, if you don't have the right opinion or if the opinion's not theirs, and I just think it's all bullshit. So yeah, I much prefer just to behave like adults and have a conversation about things. And he says, bye everyone, I'm really going now. Well, I'll be back. I promise I'll make another one. Curious Kiwi, so much drama. Yeah. I just don't think there's a place for it. I don't think there needs to be a place for it. And in some ways, I think it makes the true crime genre on YouTube quite embarrassing, to be honest. I guess it depends on what your definition of true crime is. And yeah. Awesome. The good news about this live going along is that I've cooked a crisp, done dishes and laundry. Oh, well done. I have achieved nothing. So well done. Everlaw, NZB, or 100% NZB. I think a lot of weak armchair detectives came out of the crazy Chris Watts case. Too much drama and fighting between all of them. Yeah, I just don't understand how creators should. Well, I think creators, we all want the same thing. We want, justice for families and justice for victims. And I think that the more they work together should help cases, but instead it seems to lead to infighting, and it's not something I'm a fan of and don't understand it. Little Pookie, I don't want the bullshit drama. I want a conversation and share ideas. Absolutely. Slow motion, I'm 54. I don't do drama. Autumn falls, so you're saying dessert is at your place. Do you have ice cream? What is a crisp? I've never heard of a crisp. A crisp over here is like a potato chip, so I don't know. And maybe the drama from Summer Wells. Yeah, sadly, that case, it divided a lot of channels, which I think was very, very sad that it did that. I guess during the Summer Wells case, I found out there was a lot of channels that I will not go back to because of the way the creators and their guests behaved. I'm never going to shame a channel, so I'm not going to mention channels. But I definitely found channels that I would rather listen to and channels that I would not rather listen to doing that. Kimberly, I like it here because we can have a discussion and it's okay if we have different thoughts on the subject. Absolutely. We're all speculating and all have our own opinions and ideas on what we think and stuff, and that's fine. That's good as gold. As long as you do it in a respectful and kind manner, then we can discuss it. I don't mind discussing many theories. Autumn, what I hate is that some of the controversial channels have done some good work, but it's overshadowed by all the bad things. Yes, I agree. That is very, very sad, because there's been a lot of channels out here that have done a lot of good. And then they get caught into the fighting and the drama, and then they lose respect from a lot of people. Unfortunately, though, drama seems to attract a hell of a lot of people on YouTube, and I don't know for what reason, but some creators can get a lot of money, and that's fine, because people, I'm not saying that they are profiting off any deaths, because guests spend their money how they want to. It's their right to spend it how they want to. But I'm just saying that there's a lot of people that want to give money to channels, and a lot of controversial channels that I don't think are doing things the right way have got a lot of subscribers and a lot of financing. I'm hoping I'm putting that right, if that makes sense. And it seems sometimes that a lot of subscribers want the drama channels and want to see the drama. Drama seems to catch a lot of people. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I know what I mean. I know what I mean. Little Pookie, different ideas are great. It takes looking at from many different perspectives. Absolutely. Autumn Falls, so true. I've stopped watching some as much as I like their channels, but then took it way too far. Yeah, I've been the same way. They say bad news goes across town before good news goes down the block. Absolutely. And, during the Summer Wells case, I was bullied, I think, and attacked a few times for not having the same opinion as others, and because I liked the wrong channel, and that shouldn't be allowed. That's really, really sad. And in some ways, it makes me fearful of coming on a live and actually sharing my opinions or my thoughts, because there's going to be people that disagree with me, and I just don't want the bullshit and the hate that comes with it and the drama. So we'll see what happens. Same. I'm wondering if we're talking about the same ones. We won't mention them, though. No, we won't mention it. Everlaw, I literally have a folder on my Google I see crazy people with 96 channels that are not credible to make sure I don't hit their links. Oh my God, Everlaw, well done. That's some serious work there. Good that you identify the ones that aren't credible. That's interesting. Kimberly, I most subscribe to true crime channels, craft DIYs, and home decorating, and I love music. Yeah, I do lots and lots of music. I'm a big music fan, so I listen to a lot of music on here, but we can't play any because of copyright. Autumn says, I hate how in society in general we can't have discussions or debate. It just turns into your evil so often. Yeah, it really does. It's very sad. Sad but true. Slow motion, got nothing but love for you. That is very sweet. Very nice. Glad you came on board. That's insane, right? NZM, but true. Had to swear out the good channels from bad, and no worry, I had yours in the good folder. Oh, thank goodness. I appreciate that. Yeah, and there's a lot of good, reputable YouTubers that are staying out of the drama and not bothering with it. And I definitely have more respect for them, because I've seen some weirder stuff going on lately on YouTube. Channels getting taken away, and people being bullied, and just puts, this is such a case being in the media and social media. And a lot of people always had a bad thought about you, given YouTube true crime a bad rap, or social media a bad rap in general. And then when the eyes are on YouTube and the eyes are on social media, that's when they all seem to blow it up and make the true crime genre look like a bunch of dicks. You know, people already think that way about social media, and then they go and do shit, and it makes it, you know, embarrassing for the true crime community in some ways. Just some. I also sometimes love the innocent channels that don't talk politics or drama, like Townsend's, which is just all about history. I've never heard them before. Oh yeah, there's a lot of great channels, and a lot of creators, including true crime creators, who donate a lot of their money to charities, which is just fantastic. But those, there's some really big ones that donate a lot of their profit to charities. A lot of are giving money to the Gabby Petito Foundation, which is really sweet, because creators don't have to do that. But I don't think that creators should get shit for profiting off Gabby's death when their subs or guests or whatever are giving them money. I think that's, if the guests want to do that, then that's their choice. So, slow motion, I'm Irish. We love you until you give us a reason not to. Absolutely. We love the Irish. Well, guys, I might get off here. I've got a sore butt from sitting here too long. It's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I haven't achieved one thing in the whole damn day. I got things I need to do, but once again, thank you very, very much for being here. I appreciate all your input and all your respectness and kindness. If you please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it out where you can, and that would be appreciated. I might come on later. Who knows how I feel? Not tomorrow, because I'm working. So it might be a few days. I don't know. But thanks, guys, because I really do appreciate it. Curious says, trying to buy you a coffee, but can't seem to. Well, I'll keep trying. I wonder why that is. Mysteries. Yeah, keep trying. Thank you. I appreciate that. Or if that doesn't work, if you go into any of my videos on my channel, in the description box below, there's ways that you can donate if that's easier for you. Thanks for the respectful chat. It's been fun. From Autumn Falls. I appreciate Autumn. I'm glad that we went a bit earlier so you guys could come on too. It's been great. All right, guys, please look at my channel. Check out some of my videos if you haven't before, and I will see you in a while. Bye, guys.